Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I take it from that you've enjoyed your 2 days in Doncaster. You've heard from speakers from across a range of policy areas. You've heard from speakers from right across the United Kingdom. Next year, 2016, is a huge electoral year for UKIP. There are nearly 3,000 council seats up for grabs in England. We have the Police and Crime Commissioner elections, and we'll be contesting all of those vigorously. But in addition to that, we have elections in London, in Wales, in Northern Ireland, and in Scotland. And we'll be trying our damnedest in all of those, knowing that unlike the general election, where first past the post was pretty cruel to us, that in all 4 of those cases we've got proportional representation, and we will build UKIP's elected representation on May the 5th next year. But it's on the subject of the referendum that we received most coverage yesterday. And there are many delegates sitting in the hall who found what they read this morning in the newspapers quite difficult to reconcile with what they saw and heard inside this hall yesterday. I have said from the start we cannot give the Prime Minister a 13-mile start in a marathon race. I've said from the start we must genuinely challenge the terms of this so-called sham renegotiation. And we have just begun to begin the UKIP roadshow around the country. And I have to say, I felt yesterday it was absolutely the right thing to do for us to link hands with the Leave.eu campaign, who so impressively have brought together all the groups in this country that want to leave the European Union. The message from this UKIP conference is we're mobilised, the People's Army is back on the march, and we intend to win this referendum. But I think that message that a new group of entrepreneurs and business people prepared to put their hands in their pockets, prepared to think beyond the normal Westminster village and attempt, working with us, to reach men and women all over the United Kingdom, that message, I think, sent 1 or 2 shivers through Westminster yesterday. And indeed, the Business for Britain group, who've been much talked about in the media, let's be straight, they're full of some very, very clever, able people. Of that I have no doubt. They were invited by me to attend and to stand on this platform yesterday. I've been trying for some months to do whatever I can to unite all the Eurosceptic groups in this country that want Britain to vote to leave the European Union. They were not here yesterday because they are not yet ready to commit to the position that Britain should leave the European Union. But at some point in time, they may well make their minds up. And what I've seen today in the media, and particularly this morning and going on through some of the online articles today, are their Conservative friends clubbing together to abuse UKIP in just the most remarkable way. You know, UKIP should disappear. Nigel Farage is bad for the campaign, and all this sort of thing. And my advice to you is don't listen to them. They're actually scared of us. And many, and many of these commentators do not actually believe that winning this referendum is the be-all and end-all in British politics. Well, I do, because I want my country back. It's just as simple as that. And there is an astonishing degree of snobbishness from this Westminster group towards the very existence of UKIP. Well, let me say this to those of you in Westminster who look down with disdain upon me, the party, and everybody in this hall. Let me say this to you. Without UKIP, there would be no referendum. And to those across the political spectrum and within the commentariat who genuinely want us to leave the European Union, let me say this. UKIP cannot win this referendum on their own, but this referendum cannot be won without UKIP. So let us mobilise. Let us mobilise as a party. Let us support our candidates in the local elections, the Police and Crime Commissioner elections, in the elections in London, Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland. Let us do all of those things, but let us organise meetings. Let us have our street stalls. Let us reach out way beyond what the other Westminster parties have done. Let us launch the biggest campaign that has ever been seen in British political history. Let us go out there. Let us win this referendum. And I know we can do it. The tide has turned. It's moving in our direction. Let's grab it. Thank you. You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.